Hi, it's Elaine from Penguin Place Crafts, and today we're having a dinosaur parade. I managed, after a diligent search, to find all of my dinosaurs that I have in inventory, and I'm going to march them past you one at a time so you can see them, and in the description box, I will link the patterns for everything except for this one. This one I have marked as Pink Ragdoll Dinosaur. I cannot find the pattern that I use for this. So I think I may have started with a unicorn pattern, and I thought it looked more like a dinosaur than a unicorn. So I added spikes on the back to make it a unicorn. But I don't know where the pattern is. I don't know what I did. It's been in inventory for a while, which there are only a few things in here that have been in inventory for more than a year, year and a half. Dinosaurs do sell quickly for me. So it's always okay, I'll make a dinosaur. It's going to sell sooner or later. Okay, let's get the big guy out of the way. I dropped one. Okay, little guy. Put him in my pocket. I'll do him in a minute. Here's the big guy. This was, I think I made it like back in June. I made that thrift store run where I got a bunch of yarn, including a black, white, and gray boucle and some fuzzy gray yarn. And I made this guy using one strand of the boucle and one strand of the fuzzy gray yarn. This is the same boucle that the customer wants the exact copy dragon from. Nope. I am not cannibalizing my $40 Triceratops to make a $20 dragon. Sorry. Okay, it got in my pocket. This was the most elusive one to find. It's just a little chubby T-Rex. When I was looking through my box of littles, I thought this was an axolotl, so it took me a while to find him. Hope I can find the pattern for him. I'm not quite sure where I got the pattern from. Okay, this is Waldo Striposaurus. It's a very unique looking dinosaur. He has very fierce looking eyes. Because of the eyebrows. Can I get the eye in there? This is a pattern from Manic Yarn. I am a member of the Manic Yarn Patterns for Life Club, where I have every pattern that she's written, and when she writes a new pattern, it gets added to my Ravelry. So I gave this guy arms. The pattern didn't have arms, and it seemed like you needed some short, stubby little arms up there. Okay, this is a pattern that showed up, I don't know, I think it was a Facebook or YouTube collection of free dinosaur patterns. This is Kevin the Dinosaur. This was a fun one. I think I want to make this again because I just like making it with the variegated yarn and seeing how the pattern turned out. You make the legs and then you join them and go up with the body, and then you sew on the head and the tail and the spikes. So there's a lot of sewing, but it's worth it. Okay, one of my favorites, Ankylosaurus. I've probably made I've made dozens of these. I think the count is up close to 30. Here's another one, Mr. Bright. They're fun to make. And it's fun to do all the different color combinations. I have a blog post that shows all the different color combinations I've come up with over the years. Tanner, the mini Triceratops. I was trying to use up this bright colored yarn for a challenge, and I love the way he turned out. I would like to make some more of these in just a plain color with an alternating contrasting color for the bottom of the feet and the frill up here. But I like the way Tanner turned out. He was getting a lot of attention at my last craft show, and he doesn't have a price tag, so he's going over there. I have a show next Saturday, so this stuff needs to be tagged. 1, 2 sleepy stegosauruses. Now, I've talked about how I use multiple strands of yarn together. I think this one is a strand of regular worsted weight plus a strand of white baby yarn. This one is 2 strands of baby yarn held together. So you can see the size difference there. But I like making these. Okay, here's another one that's been in inventory forever. This is Danny the Dinosaur Cuddler. It's a pattern from 1 and 2 Company. I think I did it as one of her crochet alongs trying to win a prize. This actually sold. It was one of those Etsy deals where a lady in Florida bought it for someone up in New Jersey, and the person in New Jersey never picked it up. I guess she was in an apartment complex where she had a box where she had to get a key and go to the box or something. She never picked it up, got returned to me. Lady in Florida says, oh, here, I'll pay you, ship it again, I'll tell her it's coming. So she picks it up. She didn't pick it up, so it got returned to me a second time. I just refunded the lady and put him back in inventory. Someday, Danny the Dinosaur will find his forever home. Okay, this one is my own pattern. This is the Aliyasaurus that my granddaughter Elisa, who will be 7 next week, helped me to design. And when the dinosaurs or the pattern sells, she gets a cut. When I was down at her house last week to do a show, I gave her $3 for the sale of 2 patterns. Oh, she was tickled. This is a pattern. It's called the Cute Dino or Cute Dinosaur. It's on amigururum.com. I saw the pattern. It was a free pattern on Instagram, but it was in a language with different characters, and I had no idea how to even go about translating it. So amigururum.com translated it and put the pattern up. This can be made in all sorts of color combinations. He's got orange stripes on his neck and his tail, but they made him with all these cute little stripe patterns. And I want to see if I can downsize this, because it did take a long time with the big head. If I could cut it down to half size, so I just end up with a dinosaur like this that would use smaller quantities of yarn and work up faster. It's on my list. This is another one of my patterns that I have for sale, Etsy and Ravelry. This is the Dress-up Dinosaur. It has a crown sewn to the head, and then the skirt is detachable. So I made this as a gift for my 3rd granddaughter, who was really into dinosaurs for a while. So she has a pink one with a frilly, colorful skirt. Okay, 1, 2, 3. These 3 go together because they're all from the same pattern. The pattern is Hatching Party by 1 and 2 Company. And there is a pattern for a sitting dinosaur that has like the eggshell that he hatched out of. You can also put the legs down at the bottom of the eggshell, so it looks like he could stand up, or he could sort of lie flat. And then there is the little brother who got his feet out of the egg, but that's about it. So I have little brother, big brother, and big sister. I'll have all 3 of them set together at my next show, and hopefully that will go quickly. This was a YouTube tutorial, and my stitch counts got off. It's Zack's Bronto. It's a YouTube tutorial by Zack. Get the exclamation point there. See how the legs are sort of whoop, whoop, instead of whoop, whoop? I think to make this again, I would need to go in and, like with stitch markers, mark where the legs are supposed to be, because I messed up with that. But other than that, I mean, he's just sort of a wonky. It's like he's walking and he's, the legs are moving when he's walking. This was a fun one. I also made this with multiple strands of yarn. I think this has one strand of baby yarn, a thin strand of dark green, and a worsted weight strand of light green. And at one point I ran out of the dark green, so there is a slight color change. I think it happens right around here, but you have to have a pretty good eye for color to catch it. I'm like, where was that color change? Yeah, I think it happens like right here. Okay, another YouTube tutorial free pattern that is so much fun that I have 5 of them. The little Triceratops from Club Crochet. And someone gave me the idea of changing the color when you get to the frill, and I think that lends a lot to the pattern. Oh, Zack's Bronto doesn't have a price tag. He should go over there. And this doesn't have a price tag. Okay, I think I'm all set there. Last but not least, this one I started on a trip down to Pennsylvania, on the way back from Pennsylvania. And the color changes on the back were driving me nuts. I could not concentrate on the color changes while we were driving down the road. I was co-pilot. So I set this aside, and it took me probably weeks to get back to it. I think that it would be a really fun, quick make if it wasn't for stripes. I would rather just make the whole thing in one color and then sew little stripes on than sit there and try to work the color changes and the increases or decreases, whatever it was. I don't know. That's just the way I work. So those are my dinosaurs. I want to make more. I like making dinosaurs. I like a niche like that where it's very popular and they sell quickly, because then you get to make more. So I will see you later. I have finished a few things since my last video, so probably by this time tomorrow I will have a nice little finished projects video. So that's it. Bye bye from Penguin Place.